Hello everyone, this is Christina. This is part 2 of my Coloring Your Cat series. We are jumping right in since you've probably already seen that first part. If not, I'll have it up in the top corner for you to click through. But this first cat comes from Kathy. This is her chocolate Scottish fold named Molly. And like I've done in the previous video in part 1, I'm going to start out by giving Molly a really basic layer of color. This is a nice tan color. And right after I have that done, I'm going to add some pink on her cheeks because I forgot to do that at the beginning. And then I'm going to come in with a dark chocolate brown and start adding the nose color and also all of the shading around the outer edges. Now, while you're coloring a one color cat like this, you want to remember, like this is very similar to when you're coloring a black cat, you want to make sure that you're bringing that color in quite far. You're not just adding shading, you're adding color as well. So you want to bring a lot of that chocolate brown color all the way in, and that includes on the legs and the arms. You want just a hint of that lighter color to be at the center of each segment of the cat, including the belly. The belly I left a little bit more light just for something a little bit different. Looks like Molly is actually completely all brown all over, but I thought having a little bit of a lighter tummy would be a nice touch. So now I'm coming in with black, and I'm adding black right on the edge. If you notice in the picture of Molly, in the darkest areas, she looks black. So I'm adding that black in just on the edges of everything and not bringing it in very far because I only want just a little bit of that darkest color. And like I mentioned in the previous video, for cats that have dark coloring all the way up to their eyes, I do like to put the color of the eyes right around the pupils. So I did that with the first cat, and now I'm doing it with Mary from Louise Thomas. Her daughter named the cat after the film Three Men and a Little Baby, or Three Men and a Little Lady. So funny. I loved that movie. And I'm starting out by giving Mary little pink ears and some pink cheeks. And then I'm going to start mapping out where the different like black coloring is on this cat. So like I've said in the past, you want to simplify the markings on the cat as best you can. So I'm just taking my time and going around all the areas and making sure that I have a good map or a good idea of where all the black areas are. I'm not being super dark at this point. I just want the areas mapped out. And thankfully, this particular photo has the cat on its back so I can see its belly. After I had the black areas mapped out, I then went back and added all the shading. So like I've done with the previous cats, I shaded from the outer edge of the image and just faded it in toward the center. And I did that for all of the black areas, including on the arms and around the cat's face. And I wanted to make sure that I brought that black fairly close into the eyes and the bottom of the face so that it looks black and not gray. So I'm adding all that shading in, adding more around the ears, and then I grabbed my gray colored pencil and I added just a little bit of shading on the white areas because even though they are white, there is a little bit of shading. So just under the chin and around the arms and on the feet, and then of course that white belly. So that finishes up Mary, our second cat. So now I'm going to move on to the next cat, and I'm going to start with that pink on the ears, just a little bit of pink because this cat is completely gray. This is Jasmine, and when I zoomed in on her eyes, I could tell that they were a little golden, but I decided to not add the color of her eyes because I'm going to try to keep the center area of the face fairly light. So first I did a full layer of gray over the entire cat. And then I came in with that same color of gray, and I'm going to start shading. I think this is the easiest way to make sure that it stays looking gray and doesn't go straight to black. So I put in lots of shading just with gray. And then, like on the very first cat in this video, the darkest areas in the photo do look black. So I'm going to come in with a black colored pencil, and I'm going to be adding just the tiniest bit of shading on the edges. That's going to give it a little more dimension and make sure that I have quite a bit of shadow and contrast. So I'm adding just a little bit of black right on the edge of those shadowed areas. I'm not going to spend time blending that in since I do have that gray there already. And you can see how it just gives the cat so much more dimension just to have a little bit of black right on the edges. Bringing that all the way in, down just a little bit, and under the chin as well. Finishing off with a little more gray, and there's Jasmine. All right, so we're going on to the next cat. And this next one, I'm going to start out with the eyes. And this is actually one that took the longest to color because there were so many switches in the coloring. This is Tilly, who is a tortie. And like I did on the previous cat, the black and white one, I'm going to map out all the different areas of color. This cat is basically 3 colors, black, orange, and white. And I'm going to start by mapping out the black areas. So I've got the area over the nose, up on the ears, and kind of on the forehead. This right arm, the cat's right arm, it would be the arm on the left. And then the white paw, make sure to keep that. It's a little bit of black on the shoulder. And then I sort of just imagined what the coloring could be on the bottom half of the cat since I can't see it in the photo. I then came in with a nice kind of tan orange shade, and I started to map in the areas of orange. I'm making sure I keep the bottom area of the face white since Tilly does have more of a white face. And this is when I realized I forgot to add the blush in. So I'm adding a little bit of pink just to showcase her cute cheeks. Then I continued on with the orange shade and just filled in some of those gaps. I'm saving her tummy to be white. I think her tummy has more color on it, but I wasn't sure. But I did notice that in the orange areas, especially on her face, she does have some distinctive stripes. So I'm adding the little stripes by the eye and also a little M on her forehead and a little bit over on the other side as well. And after I have those distinctive stripes there, then I'm using that same color and adding the shading in the orange areas. So I'm going to go around and add the shading on all the orange areas that are near the edges. Just adding that color in and giving it a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to go back to my black colored pencil and do the same. I'm just adding the shading to those black areas. So you want to map out the pattern on your cat with like a lighter shade, and then go in and add the shading. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So I'm adding those areas. I think this cat is so cute. It's one of my favorites from this entire series. So I'm adding more black on the center of her face since that is one of the darkest spots on her. Darkening up that area up on the forehead. Just bringing it down into the orange a little bit since that looks like it kind of blends a little bit. And then I'm going to color her ears brown. I couldn't really tell if there was much pink there or not. Figured brown was probably a safe bet. Grab my gray pencil and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading to the white areas. A little bit on the tummy and the paws as well. So that is Tilly. So now we're going to move on to, it's actually a kitten. And this is my friend Megan. We actually went to high school together. So this is kind of fun. They have a brand new cat. And such a cute little kitty. And Megan's been knitting things and taking photos of the cat with the little knit hats. I think it's so cute. So this cat it has very pale coloring, but still a distinctive pattern. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this light pale kind of yellowy shade, which is actually the same color that I used on the previous cat. I'm just using it in a very, very small amount so that it stays very light. I'm adding the shading in with that right now. And then I'm taking that same color and I'm going to start adding some of the stripes on the cat. I'm keeping it very simple. I'm going to give a little M on the forehead, some little stripes on the side of the face. And then I'm also going to add a few little stripes on her arms, or his arms, I think actually, on the arms and also the legs. You can kind of see in the picture that there's a hint of some more defined stripes kind of on the arms. So I decided I would add that as well. And I'm keeping this cat really, really simple. That's essentially all I did to color this cat. And I think it's so, so sweet and cute. Love that pink nose and the little blush on its cheeks. So the very last cat is a very distinctive cat. It's a Bengal. This is Purdy or Squiggle from Tony. And I first started with the pink on the nose and the ears. And I'm also going to do the blush while I'm thinking about it. And then, like I did before, I'm going to do the base color of the cat, which is that same kind of golden orange shade that you've seen on a lot of cats in this video. So I did that basic coloring, keeping the chin and the bottom half of the face white. Then I came in with a darker shade and added all of that shading. This is also going to warm it up a little bit. With that same black that I've been using, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the more distinctive features. So the M on the forehead and the lines next to the eyes. I think this cat is just so striking. Going to add those stripes right there. And then if you notice, the markings on the arms, and so I would assume also the legs, are almost like stripes, but more like just little segments of black. So I'm adding that to the arms and legs. And then on the main body, I'm doing C shapes to make more of the spot markings. So I'm doing kind of open C shapes facing right and left. And I'm just going to add those distinctive spots. And then there's a little bit of a brown, like a different shade on the inside of those spots. So I'm going to grab a brown color and come in and color in the center of those spots. I've never colored a Bengal cat before. This is super fun. So I'm coloring in those spots. I'm going to add another spot up here, like near that arm, just because it was kind of an empty area and I thought it'd look nice. So I'll fill that in with the brown as well. And then I don't have any idea what the tummy on a Bengal cat looks like, but I was thinking of my two cats where the tummy's more white, but there are kind of some spots. So I thought I would add that. I have no idea if that's accurate or not. I suppose I probably could look up the coloring on a Bengal cat, but I thought that would be a nice touch. If anything, I thought maybe their entire tummy might be white. I'm not entirely sure. But if you have a cat that has spots on its tummy, you would color it similarly. Okay, so that is the very last cat. I've got 6 more cats in this video, so in total in the series there are 12 different cat breeds or colorings that I've showed you. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back on Friday with a regular recorded video. Like I said in last week's live, I do have something scheduled on Friday, so I'm unable to do my regular live stream here at YouTube. So just come back on Friday and enjoy an awesome video. I've already filmed it on shaker cards. So please come back and catch that video. Thank you so much for watching today. And if you would like to see more cat coloring, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys want me to color. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you guys in another video very soon.